Hey, how you doing again? What? No. How you doing? Well, it's good to see everybody again. It's been a long hiatus, however you say it, which means a long time. I want to show you something. See this? It's, well, if I get the shirt straightened out, best pop ever. Thank you, Christy. Now I got to fix the camera again, get this all straightened out. Wasting valuable time here. Um, what I want to talk about today is the president, the economy, a bunch of other things. Um, 3 years ago, it was the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed, but yet gas now is almost $4 a gallon in most states in the United States. We're all living paycheck to paycheck. Um, and supermarkets, everything is still expensive and going up and up. Everything goes up with the paycheck. And Biden's got the nerve to stand at the podium and say that we are welcome for what he did. Really. Um, and you know what? What is this Biden economics? Economics, whatever, however you say it. Something he invented, huh? And the American dream is hard to achieve now. We seem to be going further and further away from that. Whereas opposed to many years back, many moons back, it was easy to try to get at least close to the American dream. Then he said no one making less, what was it, than $400,000 will not have the burden of a federal tax. And he thinks he kept the commitment so far this time. He thinks he kept the commitment. And yet the working class family had their tax burden raised up. And who's paying for this? You and me. That's who's paying for that tax burden. And he knows that this Biden economics is not working. It's not working. And since he took office, the national debt is four trillion. Could you imagine that number? 4 trillion. My car insurance went up. I think another $200, something like that, or by a percentage. Um, and it didn't go up because of failure to drive right. Me and my wife haven't had a major accident in years. And the solar panel deal, 30,000 to put it on your roof, to even buy it. Yet it's still costing more to heat, and power your home, your air condition. And so he thinks he's the greatest thing for our country. Really? Really? Then he got rid of a bunch of gas pipelines and decided to turn around and get our gas from a foreign country, which I will not expose this time. But here goes all the jobs, the American jobs. Then the Afghan withdrawal. What a mess that was. I watched that on TV when I was in dialysis, watching it on TV. How these people were running after the planes when they were taking off, when they were landing, trying to get in, and we were like trying to keep them off. They get as much people out as they can, and then yet they leave all the military equipment over there from the United States, tanks, uh, whatever it be, ammo, planes. What a botch that was. And he thinks he didn't do anything wrong. Um, this maybe nobody cares, but they said that he was a terrible student. All his diplomas and certain things and this and that, he should never have gotten. He was helped to get those, but it's neither here nor there. I can't believe that. I don't know. Who knows? Then with his son, he says that he really never spoke to him that much about certain things. What his son was doing overseas and getting all those millions of dollars. He claims that doesn't exist. He never spoke to his son about that. Never spoke to his son about anything going on as far as his decisions on things. We can't believe that. The COVID, he said there's no need to get shots. We would not wind up in the hospital sick. We would not die from it, and no need to get the shots. You will not be hospitalized, he claimed. You will not wind up in the ICU unit, ICU unit. That is. Um, Dr. Fauci never said these things. Dr. Fauci made more sense than anything, and yet they got rid of him. How about when they found that, I guess it was cocaine in the White House, and no investigation, and it was hush hush. I'd like to know who it was. I probably could tell you who it was, but I'll refrain from saying it. He's done nothing but lied since he's been in office. Nothing but lied since he's been in office. So whoever comes into office now takes over the regime. I hope they are do well, do good, fix this mess we're in. Please do. I don't know. I don't mean to change subjects, but I got something I would like to read to you. Um, it comes from a very reliable source. The name is Ashby T. Kappelman. Oh no, pardon me. Uh, Charles Murray. I'm going to read this story. It's called The Purple People of Jersey City. I don't know if you are aware of the Purple People factory that used to be in Jersey City along Route 440 off Kellogg Street. I've never come across it in any other magazines. This place used to be a dye factory, and it would stain the workers purple. You could catch a glimpse of their purple hued glory when they took their lunch break or quitting time. It was kind of reminiscent of the zombies in Dawn of the Dead with the bluish purple hue. People who lived in the neighborhood would complain when they hung their clothes out to dry that they would get speckled with purple dye spots. Even in the winter or during a heavy rain, you could see purple speckled snow or purple puddles. Say that 10 times fast. Purple puddles. Purple puddles, purple puddles, purple puddles, purple puddles, purple. I got five. My mother told me stories about many of the factory workers getting sick as a result of the chemicals and dying of cancer and various other ailments due to the exposure from the chemicals. Nice. I heard that the EPA shut the factory down finally in the mid 90s after an explosion. I remember when I was a kid, we used to go by there when I went to shopping in Pathmark. You'd have to come off 440 and make that turn and come back to 440 and go through to get to the supermarket there at Pathmark. And I remember seeing the factory when it was all crushed and falling down, and the things that stored the ink how flattened they were almost. Uh, that was because of an explosion. And it turns out the chemicals in the dye were similar, pardon me, similar to mustard gas, and the EPA stepped in after a few workers sued. Anyway, I ranked this about a 7.5 on the widow meter. Um, this was noted by Charles Murray. Anyway, that's that story with that. Here's another one, folks. It's called Kalinsky's Brother in Jersey City. New Jersey is a literal New Jersey is a literal treasure trove of mysterious strangeness, peculiar characters, and obscure landmarks. I have heard many tales of New Jersey oddities in my youth, but one creepy tale stands out that I've actually witnessed and lived to tell. I called a childhood friend and we started to reminisce about our youth in Jersey City Heights. The spots we used to hang out at and places we used to reside in. One place was on Central Avenue. My friend stayed there with some roommates for a short period. All of her roommates were females, but when her guy friends would come over, strange things would happen in the apartment. Doors would slam, pictures would fall off the wall. Ooh. Um, one time I was visiting her and we were in the hallway looking for her keys because none of her roommates were home. We heard what sounded like a child running through the apartment and giggling. It scared the living so and so out of us. Let me just say, I changed my mind about going inside and we went and hung on the benches on Central Avenue. The presence in her apartment was particularly hostile towards any males that came in. Glad I wasn't there. My being the inquisitive guy, which most guys are, um, that I looked up the history of the address and what a history it did have. Through my research, I found out that the Iceman's Richard Kukulinski's younger brother, Joseph Kukulinski, was tied to the property. It turns out Joseph Kukulinski lived in the neighborhood. What a name, Kukulinski. Uh, he lived in the neighborhood and had his eye on a young girl that would walk her dog in the area. Kukulinski somehow got a hold of the dog to lure the girl to her tragic demise. Oh wow. He took her to the roof of this apartment building and performed unspeakable acts to her, then threw her and her dog off the roof. You bastard. The dog survived the fall with some broken limbs and started to howl and bark, which altered authorities. I hope the dog came back and haunted him. Kukulinski was caught and confessed to the crime shortly thereafter. My deepest condolence, same here, deepest condolence to the young girl and her family who have suffered from this tragedy. I don't know if the events that took place in my friend's apartment are in any way related, but it's a hell of a coincidence. It might be that girl. Might be that girl haunting the joint. Who knows? Um, there's a story too that they say. Gosh, I forgot when it was. UFOs. Me and my wife were driving in the car one day, and we come up over the Newark Bay Bridge. It's a summer night. Uh, we didn't use the air conditioning. It wasn't too humid or hot. And we looked to the right where Bayonne Bridge is, and around the horizon where the planes land. But this was way above the horizon. We saw about six balls of light. They seemed to be sitting there, like they weren't moving. And as we were driving now down the hill of Newark Bay Bridge, um, they seemed to have disappeared. Don't know where they went. They claimed there was a UFO sighting over the skies uh, in the park, not Hudson County Park. It was the park down off of Avenue A and 26th Street, 25th Street. That was many years ago. All these things are noted in a magazine that I read. Uh, I won't say what magazine it is. You may know. Um, so that is that with that situation. Um, Watched a NASCAR race this past weekend. Today is the 19th, 17th of September, I think it was, and it was for qualifying, and a couple of friends of ours went. My daughter Kerry, Brian, Kerry, she stayed in the hotel. She didn't go to the race because they had to go from where they were to uh, Talladega, which I believe was an hour and a half, 2 hour ride. So it was Brian, his friend Johnny, and his wife, I believe. And anyway, I was watching the race, and the favorite to win, because he had first place, was Johnny's favorite. I think it was Chase Elliott. I don't know what Chase Elliott was doing, but uh, another driver coming flying right past him and won. So I'm sure Johnny was a little upset. Who knows what had happened? But that is that with that. I hope I'm right about everything. Um, I want you to check out my race car. One day I hope to have a race car. Jesus, that work no more. This comes, oops, with, with another race car inside. Pretty cool. And that lights up. Um, Pretty cool, huh? My toy. Hey, that sounds Chinese. My toy. That's the closest I'll get to a race car. Did you hear the car start? Pretty cool. Yeah, grown man playing with toys. That's a shame. I think this one inside, if I'm not mistaken, it lights up. I don't think it. Oh, the batteries are dead. Well, anyway, that's what this one looks like. It's pretty cool. No, this one don't make noise, but a beat. Turn it off. Put it back in. Pretty cool, huh? Oh man. And the winner of the day is all those who subscribe. Please hit that button down there and subscribe. So, subscribe. Uh, we got there's mass extinction event in Alaska State Park in October 2022. Um, this magazine was saddened to learn that the dinosaurs and other sculptures created by Robin Guerrero in the woods of Alaska State Park had been destroyed by vandals. We featured these sculptures and the story behind Guerrero's creation of them in another issue of the magazine. She told us that she never intended for them to be found, and she used biodegradable twine to create them so they wouldn't last forever. But creating them helped her through some rough times, and those who ventured to find them in the woods were in for a magical treat. And their sped up destruction by unknown hands was a great loss for all. Rotten bastards. You can read more about the sculptures on Weird, New Jersey. Oh, shouldn't have said that, but I did. This is a good one. New Jersey funeral home puts wrong body in casket. How do you do that? Hmm? A Northern New Jersey funeral home was sweating it out in September 2022 after a family fired filed a lawsuit claiming they put the wrong body in their deceased mother's grandmother's casket, as reported in NewJersey.com. It happened at the end of 2021, and the situation was made worse according to the lawsuit because the woman in the casket was wearing their loved one's jewelry. It also didn't help when the funeral home did a quick switch, resulting in the correct woman's body looking disheveled and bruised. It's a horrible situation for anyone grieving the loss of a loved one to find themselves in, but not a completely uncommon. It's not completely uncommon. There was a similar mix up of grandmother bodies at a different funeral. This funeral home was in Bergen County in November 2021, resulting in a 50 million lawsuit. Ooh, I wonder if they won that lawsuit. Just wonder. All right, folks. Pardon me. We're going to end this video. Nice speaking with you. Um, I hope I get a bunch of subscribers, likes, comments. You can do a comment. Do a comment if you want. Like to talk back to somebody. So thank you. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.